Thank you for staying with us here to our very first story. And 9 shops at the Kumasi Central Market have been destroyed after a fire there last night. Correspondent Erastus Asaidonko has been to the market and joins me now over the telephone with details of this incident. Erastus, good morning. Thanks for joining us. Now, do we know what exactly caused this fire?
Well, immediately, no official cause has been stated, but then the security men at the market are saying that there was a power outage briefly at the market, and when the power came on, they saw smoke emanating from one of the shops. And so they alerted the police in the area, and they also called the fire service. But then the fire, when we reached the scene, the spread to the other shops. So when they were able to put out the fire, we counted 9 of the shops that were totally consumed by the inferno. Now, if you look at the shops, it's within the Chiapia line, close to the Amane area of the central market, and they sell textiles. And so you could see items like a sewing machine in there as well, bent completely, cloths. In their numbers in these shops, their numbers in these shops have also been bent completely.
Erastus, so the extent of damage so far, when the fire service or fire personnel came over, what did they say could be the likely cause of this fire?
Well, they are also pointing fingers. You know that the central market is an old market, and we have been seeing many of these fires. Last year alone, we had 2 of these fires, major fires at the central market, and then this year we have this one. Now, all reports that have been gathered indicate that we do have haphazard electricity connections within these shops, and when they reconstruct the market, they do not employ the services of qualified people to wire the shops for them. And if you remember, the assembly wanted to rewire the entire market. They said, no, we will do our own thing, because when you do it, you won't give us back our shops. And so many of these substandard electrical wiring, the fire service personnel indicate, and the extent of illegal connection of electricity within the market could be a possible cause.
Erastus Asaidonko, many thanks for that update. That was Erastus Asaidonko. But Erastus, just before you go, let me ask, have you been to the site this morning, and what has been the reaction from traders, particularly those who lost some property?
Well, I've not been to the site this morning, but then I have been calling relatives of some of these owners, and by 6 a.m. this morning, they were yet to hit the scene to assess. And it looks like it's not new to many of these market women. Some of them had their shops bent like 2 or 3 times. And so it doesn't really come as a surprise to them.
All right, thank you very much, Erastus, for that update. That's Erastus Asaidonko reporting from the Ashanti Regional Capital, Kumasi, where 9 shops were actually destroyed in a fire at the central market in that region. So we'll be making you much more on that subsequently. But now let's turn our attention to some other stories. And a 12-year-old boy on Wednesday said to have drowned in a stream near Kumasi High School at Jinase in the Ashanti Regional Capital. It took police and fire service personnel about 2 hours to retrieve the body of the yet-to-be-identified boy after some rituals were performed by some traditional authorities. Let's get more on this from correspondent John Tay, who joins me now over the phone lines with some more on this. John Tay, if you can hear me, good morning. Thanks for joining us. Can you tell us what really happened? Okay. So I'm told John Tay's line has tripped there, but that's the situation also in the Ashanti region over there. We'll be bringing you that one pretty shortly. Let's move on to some other stories. And the family of a 23-year-old who was allegedly murdered at a fortified residence in Dansuman wants 2 police constables arrested for their suspected role in the incident. Now, 23-year-old house help Veracity Elom Oting is said to have been murdered and dumped in a swimming pool in the house. Manasseh Azuri Awene has been following this case closely and reports that the family of Elom and her employer are worried the police appear to be shielding the two officers who are suspected of foul play in the murder. Manasseh joins me in studio now with more on this story. So Manasseh, tell us about, first and foremost, this structure, this building you speak of. It is very fortified, I'm told. How is it possible for anyone to just enter and commit such an act?
Well, the police have also even said that from their investigation, it was clear that nobody entered that house within the period of this crime. Okay. And the family had also traveled, that's the Asians, Mr. Tuisian and the family had traveled out of the country. So it was that lady who is the house girl or a house help. There's another cleaner, a male, but he comes and goes. He doesn't live in the house. And a security personnel, a private security person, and then that of an armed police officer. Okay. So these are the only people they suspect to have been in the house within the period of this crime. So if there's anything, there's no indication that someone from outside got into that house.
So from all this, it is obvious whatever it is that happened, whatever crime that occurred, had to be done indoors. Someone in the house performed that crime.
Yes, that's what the police are suspecting, because that morning they said the girl hadn't also gone out. So what they saw was her clothes. There's a fountain just by the swimming pool, so she had her clothes, and then she had this slippers was neatly arranged there. And it created the impression that this girl came and then jumped into the pool and started swimming. And she was in the brassieres and her bra and also her panty, a green pant. So that was the only thing she was wearing. And the police are even saying that they don't see how she could walk all the way from her room and come and undress that way. I've also spoken to the landlord or the owner of the house, who says since that girl was brought there, she never swam in that pool, and there was never any attempt to swim in the pool. And so everything points to the fact that there is something fishy. Besides that, in her room there was like water and then a heater plugged, so it was like she wanted to heat water and then bath. So the question the police are also asking is, if someone, the weather that day we are told was very cold, so if someone wants to heat water and bath, and at the same breath going to jump into a swimming pool, they don't really match. And the interesting details that are coming up, I've been speaking to the police, and one of the people, the suspects, there was this private security man who was arrested that day. And what he said was that he and then the police officer on duty that day said they saw the girl that morning at about 7, 8 o'clock, and at 10 o'clock they found her body floating in the pool, swimming pool. But later on, this man came and then said, no, the report I gave earlier was not true. The account I gave earlier was not true. The truth is that we did not see the girl that morning. And from the sources I'm picking up, he said, as a private security who worked with Westec, said when they found the body, the police officer on duty told him to say that they saw the girl and later found the body. So there is, dead bodies do not talk. That was the impression that was created, that the policeman said, this is what we should say because dead bodies do not talk. But this man had to fall sick in the course of the arrest, and at the end of the day, he was brought back.
I see. So quite interesting. Now, the family is now saying that these two police officers, these other two constables, are complicit in this whole issue. What particular reasons do they give for this?
What the family, it's not only the family, but also the employer of the girl, they are all worried. And they are saying that when the incident occurred, within 48 hours before or after, all the people who were present have been arrested. The houseboy, we are told, was even in the eastern region for a funeral. We are told Kade or so, but they've arrested him. Okay. But at that moment when the body was found, there was a police officer there. And the information we're also picking is that normally the night police officer would wait for the morning police officer to come and hand over to him. But on this particular day, he left even before the morning police officer came. So there are a lot of issues. And besides, if there was nothing to hide or nothing to fear, the question people are asking is, why should you tell the security man to lie that you saw the girl that morning, when in fact you did not set eyes on her in the morning? So there are a whole lot of instances. I've seen pictures of the lady, and if you look at what really happened, the blood and everything, you'll be asking questions.
Okay.
Why is she found in the pool when something else happened? And I asked the police officer that did they find the investigator, whether they found any blood stains or anything in the pool to suggest that she sustained those injuries when she jumped into the pool. And the police are saying no. So there are a whole lot of questions, and the family and the employer want the police to also assist in the investigation.
Okay. Right, Manasseh, I'll be coming back to you shortly, but I've just been joined in the studio by Justice Tekpo. He's the uncle of the deceased. He joins us now in the studio. So our condolences, that's first and foremost. But
thank you.
Why do you smell foul play? Let me ask that question.
Well, thank you very much for that question. Yes, we smell foul play because under normal circumstances, if somebody got drowned in swimming pool, or let's say in water, there are certain symptoms that you see. Either the person will have the bloated stomach, you will not see blood stains coming from the nose, the mouth, the ears. You will not see some whitish, fluids coming from any part of the body. But in this case, they found, according to them, they found her floating on the pool around 10:45. At that moment, then the body starts floating on the, at least, normally the body will be submerged down into the water after some time before you find it floating.
But what exactly does the autopsy report say?
Yes, the autopsy report says there are two causes of death. One is blunt head injury. The other one is subdural hematoma. Now, when you go to the net and you find the definition of subdural hematoma, it tells you that there's some like a traumatic, violent, strike to the head of a person, and then that breaks the skull. Then there's a bleeding through the skull that finds its way through the nose and ears. And then there's a whitish fluid that surrounds the brain. All those fluids, they have to flow. And they also went further to describe it or define it as that strike should be at the speed of a car. That will hit the head of that person before you get subdural hematoma. So then, what kind of swimming pool are you jump in and then you sustain all these kind of injuries? So this is what makes us feel, that
So you think someone deliberately hit her with something?
Yes, that is what I suspected.
And killed her?
Yeah, that very fateful day, I have been calling her. She's been working there for just about 9 months now, or by that time. And then she's been complaining to me sometimes that she wants to stop the job.
Did she give any reasons why she wanted to stop?
Yes, one, the madam is always on her. She's not happy with the way the madam treats her. She have to wake up 5 a.m., do all the house chores, finish. Then at 9, she have to leave the house, go to the madam's shop, which is on the 13th Street of Dansoma. And the woman owns a cosmetic shop there.
Okay.
So after doing the house chores, which was supposed to be her main occupation in the house, but then the woman added those shop activities also to that. So she will go to the shop from 9 till the children close from school. Then she will go back to the house and then continue with the house chores. Normally, usually around 10 in the night, before her chores will be over. So by the time she will go to bed, that will be 11. Then by 5 a.m., she have to wake up. And when she wakes up, she have to leave her phone in her room, because she's not allowed to carry phone anywhere. So before you can get her and even talk to her, that will be around 5 a.m. After 5:30 thereabout, when you call her, you will not get her. The phone will ring. You won't get her. So on that very fateful day, I started calling her as usual at 5 a.m. There was no response. I call. 6 o'clock, no response. So I paused the call, waiting that by 9, by then she should have finished with the house chores. Then when going to the shop, she would now go and pick her phone. So from 9, I started calling again. I called till 12:15, no response. Then 12:15, then somebody picked the call. Then the person started asking me questions. Who are you? I mentioned my name. Then I said, no, I want to talk to the owner of the phone. You should give the phone to the owner. Then he said, the owner is sick, seriously sick. I said, how? I just spoke with this person the Tuesday, no, the Wednesday, the Thursday to the whole of Thursday too. She didn't pick my call. I did not hear of her the whole of Thursday. So then I said, okay, then Friday I'll continue calling. So when this guy picked the call, asked my name, I said, I am Justice. What am I to the disease? And I said, I'm the uncle. Then that person also said, he too is the uncle. And I said, how? Why are you the uncle? I don't know you. He said, can I know all the uncles of Elon? And I said, okay, it doesn't matter. You should just give the phone to her, that I'll talk to her. So then the person cut the line. So I was there thinking, what might be happening? Then another call came again from her second phone, the girl's second phone. And this time, it was a man who identified himself as the tailor. That is the one who got a job for Elon.
Okay.
So Elon, where she is now, she can't talk, so I should come. She's very sick. So quickly I took dropping from where I was. I was by then around Cantonment. So at that time, too, doctors were on strike. So I was contemplating where to take her to, which hospital, and so on and so forth. I got there, then, the house is fortified, so to speak, over 10 feet high wall, fence wall, with the what do you call it, electric fence.
I see. So you're speaking of, you are now at the point where you got to the house.
To the house.
What was the message given to you by her employers? What did they tell you?
Her employers, in fact, I was not able to get in touch with any of the employers.
Okay.
I was told they've traveled. Earlier when she told me that the madam and the boss will be traveling to Columbus. So, and then the children asked, the children were telling her that they will go with her. So I asked her whether you didn't have passport or not. So we laugh over it. They didn't do passport for you, so don't think they will go with you.
Okay.
Now when I got there, then I attempted to enter the house. I noticed that somebody was inside, did not allow me to enter. So they rather met me at the entrance and then took me away from the vicinity of the gate. Then I said, why? I want to see my niece that you say she is sick. I'm coming to take her away. Then the tailor said, oh, they should bring you to the cosmetic shop. She is there. Then I said, no, the person is sick. You say he's sick. How come all of a sudden she should be in the cosmetic shop? So I will not go.
Okay.
I said I will not go. They tried to pursue me. So we moved about 50 yards from the house. Then I stopped and I told them that they are men, I am a man. Whatever the issue is, they should tell me. Because where they are taking me, I will not go. Then the tailor told the security guard that he should tell me whatever has happened. The security guard refused to talk. So the tailor said, okay, and power, BBC here. Na Elon, why in your media? So I screamed. I said, wow, why? What happened? They were not able to tell me anything. So then they said we should go back to the house. So when we got to the house, they opened the gate. Then I met a policeman in a uniform with rifle in the house. Now he have now taken over from
the other one.
Yes.
Okay.
Then he started showing me, like guiding me.
Okay.
I should pass here.
And then you went to the house.
Yes.
Okay. Look, so let me find out from Manasseh now. Manasseh, you have been following this story for a while, and you've been obviously been interacting with the police on this. What is the progress of investigation as pertains to this particular case?
Well, when the incident happened, they didn't arrest anybody until after the autopsy on the 16th of September. It happened on the 21st of August. It was on the 16th of September that they arrested the private security man and the houseboy later. Then, I think recently, last week or last 2 weeks, they arrested, there was a night security by the private security person. Okay. And I'm told they've been charged. They would have to go to court somewhere next week, 22nd.
Okay.
But the police constables...
These two constables are still free?
Yes, and this family petitioned, and also the employers of the girl also petitioned. They were not very happy at the pace, with the pace at which the investigation was traveling. So they petitioned even the IGP. And so the case is now with the CID. Okay. And I've spoken to some officials of the homicide unit who have confirmed this. But they told me the police officers were supposed to have reported on Tuesday. But due to some communication lapses, they couldn't make it. So they are hoping that by the end of this week, they would get the two constables to come and assist investigation.
All right. Manasseh, many thanks for your time. And Manasseh Azuri Awene has been following up on that particular incident there. We also had in the studio uncle of the deceased, Justice Chepo, who joined us here in studio. We really do appreciate your time coming, and we'll bring you much more on this. We'll keep our eyes on this, bring you much more subsequently. But at this point, we're taking a break on News Desk. We'll return shortly with some more news. Don't go away.